Welcome back, deep divers. Ready to explore another thrilling episode, well, actually two thrilling episodes of The Judge from Hell.
I'm ready. Episodes 7 and 8 were a wild ride. Lots of twists and turns we didn't see coming, that's for sure.
It's like the writers cranked up the intensity, pushing those moral boundaries even further.
Yeah, definitely. And with the stakes so high, those lines between good and evil, right and wrong, they start to get really blurry. It's what makes these episodes so gripping.
Because we're seeing the characters, especially Bitna and Daeon, wrestling with those impossible choices, right?
Absolutely.
For anyone just tuning in, just a really quick recap. Judge Bitna, our mysterious and often ruthless dispenser of justice, and Detective Daeon, haunted by a past tragedy he can't seem to escape, are caught in a world obsessed with these sensationalized courtroom dramas.
And that's where the show gets really interesting. It's like how much of it is about actual justice and how much of it's about the spectacle. It makes you think about our own fascination with true crime, right?
Right. Totally. And you can't deny Bitna with her whole justice will be served no matter what approach. She's captivating. But underneath it all, we're starting to see cracks in that facade, wouldn't you say?
Oh, for sure. Especially in those moments she shares with Dana. You get these flashes of vulnerability. Maybe.
Right. It's hard to tell if it's real or calculated, which makes you question everything she does. And then you've got Daeon trying to navigate this system, trying to reconcile with his own past trauma. What did you think about his character arc in these two episodes?
Oh, man. Talk about an emotional roller coaster. You can just feel the weight of everything he's carrying. Yeah, he's pulled right back into that darkness from his past.
That attack on the woman connected to the case. I mean, talk about intense.
Seriously, and the fact that it's connected to Bitna's past, too, it adds a whole other layer of complexity to their relationship.
And then you've got Myung-suk showing up out of nowhere.
Yeah, like he just materializes from thin air.
Definitely seems like he's going to play a bigger role moving forward.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
Especially with that look Daeon and him exchanged. It's like there's some unspoken history there.
Like a hidden connection or something.
Right. And then you have Detective So-young trying to protect Daeon, keeping him away from the case.
Yeah, she can see how much it's affecting him.
It's like she understands the emotional baggage he carries.
Yeah.
It's a heavy burden for anyone, let alone someone trying to uphold justice.
Speaking of which, even Bitna, with all her power, she's not immune to the pressures of the system.
Right. That scene with the assemblyman, it shows that even she has to answer to someone.
Exactly. And the way she reacts to that kind of pushback, it's almost like...
Like she's playing a game, guessing the limits.
Yeah, exactly.
It's hard to tell what's really going on in that brilliant mind of hers.
And just when you think you're starting to figure her out, we get that whole scene with Mija in episode 7.
Oh man, Mija, she's a whole other mystery wrapped in an enigma.
Talking about prophecies and warnings, it's like she has some insider knowledge that we're not privy to.
It's really smart how the writers weave in those supernatural elements.
Right. Yeah.
It keeps you on the edge of your seat.
Totally agree. You never know what to expect next.
And the way they tie those elements back to Daeon's story, it's brilliant.
It's like his personal struggle mirrors the bigger themes of the show. That pull between justice and revenge, the lines start to blur for him too.
Yeah, he's clearly drawn to Bitna's power, but he's also questioning everything she does.
It all builds up to that confrontation at the end of episode 7.
Talk about a cliffhanger.
Seriously, that gunshot, we see the blood and we're left wondering who got shot.
Masterful, right? They know how to keep us hooked. I thought for sure it was So-young.
Same. My heart skipped a beat. And then episode 8 throws us another curveball with that whole KO food storyline.
At first I thought, where is this going? Is this a side plot?
Right.
But it's actually a really clever way to explore the show's themes on a smaller scale.
You're right. It's like a microcosm of the bigger picture. Corporate greed, corruption, the disregard for human life, it's all there.
It's a stark reminder of how money and power can influence, well, everything.
And that sense of injustice, it really resonates with what Daeon is going through, right?
Absolutely. He's seeing the limitations of the system firsthand.
And it makes his attraction to Bitna's methods, however extreme they might be, that much more understandable.
You start to see why someone would be tempted to take the law into their own hands.
It's a slippery slope, that's for sure. But then just when you think Bitna is completely unfeeling, we get those tears at the end of episode 8.
Right. Total curveball. Are they genuine? Is she manipulating Daeon? The writers leave us guessing, and it's brilliant.
I'll admit, seeing Bitna cry, that really threw me. She's always so, I don't know, in control.
Right, like a machine.
Exactly. So to see her show that vulnerability, especially with Daeon, it makes you wonder, is there more to her than we realize?
It definitely makes you question everything you thought you knew about her. Is she capable of empathy? Or is it all a big act? That's the thing with this show. It keeps you guessing.
And those are the kinds of questions that make for great television, right? We're
Yeah.
talking about these huge themes like corruption and justice, revenge, the line between good and evil. It's all tangled up in this really intense narrative.
Right. It's not just entertainment.
Yeah.
Take that whole KO food storyline. It really makes you think about the systems we live in.
It's like, how complicit are we in a system that values profit over people?
Exactly. And Dion is right there in the thick of it, wrestling with these huge moral dilemmas. He sees how easily the powerful can manipulate the system.
Right.
And it's no wonder he's drawn to Bitna's methods, even if they are pretty extreme.
Oh, absolutely. If I were in his shoes, I don't know that I could resist that kind of power, that ability to make things right, even if it means bending the rules a little or a lot.
That's the thing about this show. It doesn't give you easy answers.
No, it doesn't. And that's what makes it so compelling. So before we wrap things up, we have to talk about that immortality trinket.
Oh, yeah, that. What do you make of that?
It's a total head scratcher. It makes you wonder, how is that going to play into everything else that's going on?
It's like, is it literally a trinket that makes you immortal? Or is it something else?
Yeah.
A metaphor, maybe?
Right. And what does immortality even mean in the context of the show? Bitna, in a way, she's already operating outside the normal rules.
That's true.
Could this trinket make her even more powerful?
And how will Danon react to that? Will he be tempted by that kind of power?
So many questions, not a lot of answers. But hey, that's what keeps us coming back for more, right? And that's what makes The Judge from Hell such a fantastic show. It's thrilling, thought-provoking, and it stays with you long after you finish watching.
Absolutely. It's a must-watch for sure.
Couldn't agree more. So for all you deep divers out there, if you haven't already, check out The Judge from Hell. You won't regret it. And be sure to join us next time as we dive into another captivating topic. Until then, keep exploring and keep those minds engaged.